in Nuxt 3, a lot of things are completely different than Nuxt 2.
Sure.
So when you are learning Nuxt 3, you have to treat it like a new framework. No,
Yeah.
you will barely find similarities with Nuxt 2. I mean, there will be similarities in many things, but there are a few things which is totally different how you were used to do them
With
using
Nuxt.
Nuxt 2. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite confident in quite a lot of things with Nuxt 2, what we've done. But
Then yeah, then we can definitely have a look at Nuxt 3, and you will understand yourself whether it's easy or difficult. You will understand yourself. No
yeah,
problem. I
um,
will try to present it as easy as possible to you.
sure.
Mhm.
We'll do the same process because we had almost 12 sessions with Nuxt 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think in Nuxt 3 we will not need that much session, because as I was telling you that you will find a lot of things common between Nuxt 2 and Nuxt 3. So those things we don't have to spend many time, not much time,
Sure, sure.
to explain those things to you. So
You
we
know
will
how,
just focus on the changes that are required to understand in Nuxt 3.
sure.
Hmm?
You know how I work. I like doing templates and then converting it to Nuxt.
Yeah,
So I thought
we will apply the same concept. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I thought the eShop we start because it was a difficult, well, different, and so because I want to do other things with Nuxt 3.
No problem. So let us bring let us rearrange our desktop same as we do in every class. So this is the project that this is the template that you have sent me, shop template. So we will keep that open in our terminal, and here we will add a folder. And right now we don't have any Nuxt project created. So first thing we will do is create a Nuxt project, new Nuxt project, Nuxt 3 project to be
Sure.
specific. So we will search like create Nuxt 3 project, like that. We have to start by installation. Right. If we go to installation, and you can see that this is the way we create a Nuxt project. So we use the npx command, not the npm, but the npx
Yeah.
command, and then we create a boilerplate. So we will go to our terminal. There is this, and then a name, then the name of our app, and we will name it like eShop, and then Nuxt 3. Yeah.
You
So
carry
that's
on.
basically done.
I'm just going
Yeah.
to brew a coffee. Just bear with me a second.
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
No, no, it's completely all right. So we will close this terminal. Basically, our work with this terminal is done. And now we are gonna add a new folder to this project, and that will be the project that we just created in local fresh food, and then we have
Sure.
eShop Nuxt 3 in Nuxt app. Oh, okay. So that was actually our Nuxt app. So go back to our terminal for a second. Let's see. So we actually should have replaced this part with
Yeah.
our project name. Yeah, that's the thing we mistook. So we will actually redo this part. So this next app, we are gonna delete it. Then we will go to terminal.
Would you have just renamed that folder?
Yeah, we could do that, but I
Yeah.
would like to
Do
show
it
you
properly.
one more time proper way,
Yeah.
so that we are aligned the same page. Okay, so now it's done. Now we go back here. Go to add folder. Here, here, here. Here we have the settings. So both of our project will remain in the same
Sure.
place, so
Okay,
that we will be
space.
able to see them properly. Now we will create a new terminal. The location will be eShop Nuxt 3 like this.
If you zoom in a bit.
Yeah, so like this.
A little bit more.
Then
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
yeah, so we will then install in this directory. This is gonna install only this step dependency. As you can see, the Nuxt 3 is by default TypeScript, configured with TypeScript.
Yeah, I don't know TypeScript, so
No problem. Inside TypeScript, you can write JavaScript comfortably. You don't have to be worried about types.
okay.
But there are a few things that you will find a little bit difficult to maintain, but I hope that that will not matter. So we'll try to remain in JavaScript, though we are using TypeScript in our project. Okay.
Sure.
So it's really preparing. Our node modules folder is ready. Now we will run dev as usual. So open. Keep like this.
Yeah.
Here is the welcome screen. So in Nuxt 3, normally when we create a Nuxt 2 project, we see a lot of folders here.
Sure.
But here, as you can see, if we minimize the other project, then you see that there's nothing, almost nothing.
Minimum.
Only the bare minimum things are there. Even the boilerplate code, that the page that is coming here is not part of your code. So if you from app.js, if you app.vue, if you remove this component and create your own thing like that, then you are done. You can see that
Sure.
here it's showing test. So normally in Nuxt 2, we had to delete a lot of files in order to clean up the project and
Yes.
start from scratch. But in Nuxt 3, they understand our pain and they have made it like this. So we have nothing in this project now that we need to remove or delete something like that.
Sure.
That's the very good thing in my opinion. Now the thing is here, as you can say, we have a app.vue file, but in Nuxt 2 we don't have this file.
No.
If you remember properly, that then this file is not present in Nuxt 2. So what this file will do is that this file will allow you to build Nuxt 3 as a single page application. So you can actually write your entire application in this file. So there are, a lot of times this happens where we need only one page, in our
Yes.
application. We don't need, 20 or 15 or 10 pages. We just need only one page. In those cases, it's a little bit overkill if you have to have a lot of configuration in your, in your project and things like that.
Sure.
So they have put an option for us so that we can actually use this app.vue for for our entire application. We can write our entire application in this file, and you don't have to worry about any other thing like pages folder, those kind of things. You don't have to worry about those things.
Sure.
So this is one major change between Nuxt 2 and Nuxt 3 that you need to understand. And if you want to use layouts, that's one important thing that you have to remember. So you have to have a layouts folder, and then, for example, default.vue. This is our layout. Then we say template, then div. So now the thing you have to note here is that normally in Nuxt 2, we do like this,
Yes.
correct? But in Nuxt 3, you don't do this. There's no Nuxt tag. You will have to use slot here. Okay. Now, if you don't have a pages folder, then you have to configure this in your app.vue. Otherwise, this layout will not be applied. If you come here, as you can see that it's showing test, and if I put something in the layout, actually we already no, the default.vue, then if we put something here like a test from layout, then as you can see that text is not appearing here, correct?
Yes.
Only the text from app.vue came here.
Yeah.
So if you go follow this approach, this app.vue file approach, where you are planning to build a single page application, you don't want to create pages and you don't need pages for your project. In that case, you will have to include this layout in your app.vue file. So the way you will do it, let me show you from the documentation. So Nuxt 3 layouts directory. So this is the layout directory documentation. So you can create a layouts folder, and there you can create a default.vue, same as we did in our project, right?
Yeah.
Now, in order to use this in app.vue, you have to use this tag, as you can see. So this Nuxt layout component is necessary when you will follow this approach, like this. Now, if you go back to your page, then you can see test from layout and test both are present. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So now if you have another layout here, for example, that error dot layout, I'm just naming it.
Yeah.
Not layout, actually it should be view. So error dot view. So maybe you have another layout like this. Then you create a template, and then again inside the div you can write a p tag where you will write error layout, and below that, as usual, we will put a slot. Okay, so this is another layout. And now if you want to include this layout in your project, then what you have to do, let's see. So here is our custom layout. It's setting another layout. So you can directly override the default layout like this by providing a name prop to the layout property. So for example, that maybe we have maybe we want our app.vue to show a different layout, not the default.vue. In that case, we can actually give it a name attribute, and then we can tell it custom. So another thing that you will need here is a script tag, and this time your script tab should have something called setup.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so we will use the composition API with Nuxt 3, because if you don't use composition API in Nuxt 3, then there's no reason that you want to come to Nuxt 3 from Nuxt 2.
Sure.
So we should actually stick with composition API when we are using Nuxt 3. So we have to declare a layout variable here like this, and our layout name will be arrow, because
Error.
we named our file arrow. Here also we'll say
Error.
arrow. So theoretically, now our default layout should be replaced by our arrow layout. If we go to our page, as you can see that it's now showing arrow layout instead of default layout. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this is how you can use custom layers. So for example, you have, in this case, you will not have other pages as you have app.vue. So you might have other pages and you want to use different layout for any specific page, then you will go with this approach. And if you don't put anything here and don't put anything here, then the default.vue, that layout will be applied in your page. As you can see, just from layout.
Yeah.
So this is one important concept that I wanted to show you. And if you want, then you can actually use multiple layout in your app. And how we can achieve this? Let's see. So this is one of our layout, which is Nuxt layout. So I bring back this layout property and we go there. But as you can see, that arrow layout is not showing here, right? It's still showing test from layout, which is the default.vue layout, correct?
Yes.
So we want that some part of our page will have a different layout, but the whole page will have another layout. Then what we can do is we can actually create another next layout tag inside it and wrap that part. So we don't need actually slot here. So we will actually close this tag, and now we will name this layout arrow. This is just for example. So this naming, it's up to you, whatever name you want to give.
Sure.
So
Sure.
as you can see, I have now test from layout, I have arrow layout, and I have test.
Sure.
So think of a page which have, for example, that you want to keep this part in a default layout, which will be in every page. But you want this part to be in 5 pages or 10 pages, and rest of the pages should not have this part.
Sure.
Then you can actually create 2 layouts and then combine them like this. You know?
Yes.
So this Nuxt layout will be in the default.vue. So all the pages will adopt it, but this part you want to put in a custom layout, and only those pages will adopt it where you will declare that
Yes.
layout like this. You understand?
Yes.
So this way you can actually apply multiple layout in one page in Nuxt 3, which is a great thing. If you can use it and if you can understand it properly, then this will help you a lot in your application development.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is something I wanted to show you, but this is not the way I would like. I will proceed in the Nuxt 3. I will actually proceed the Nuxt 2 way in Nuxt 3, and how we can do that. So if you have a application where you will have multiple pages and you want to have the flexibility of developing those pages in Nuxt 2 way, then you just have to delete this file, this app.vue file. Okay.
Right.
If you delete that file and then create a pages folder, then you are back to Nuxt 2 mode. Oh, sorry, I actually created that folder in a different location. We should actually create that in this folder, in this project, pages folder. Then you are exactly back to your Nuxt 2 way of developing things. So you just have to create an index.vue, which will serve as home page, and you can have a template here, div, and test. Now you don't have to define any Nuxt layout here because you have created this file inside the pages directory, and we don't have any app.vue file anymore.
Yeah.
That's why it will work exactly as it used to work in Nuxt 2. As you can see, that layout is also present and the content of that page is also present.
Yes.
But we never wrote Nuxt layout anywhere.
No.
You know? So this is the exact same way that you have been doing in Nuxt 2. So if you want to use that way, then it is just you have to delete the app.vue file, and then you have to create your pages inside the pages directory, and it will go back to your your previous way of working. So here, if we now create a script tag and we set up const layout equal to error like this, then we still don't have the error layout. But if we now go back to error and then give it a name of error layout as well. So set up layout error. Save. This doesn't work. So in Nuxt 3, this should have worked if it was Nuxt 2. The way we just did it,
yes,
it should have worked if we were Nuxt 2. But here I can see that it doesn't work. So in that case, we will just forget about this part and we go back to our previous way of implementation. So in that case, we will keep this layout property here, and then we will wrap it inside Nuxt layout, and then we'll give it a name top of arrow. Save. And we have now both the layout activated. So the default layout and the arrow layout, both of them are activated. So this is the way you will use multiple layouts if you are using pages. Instead of using app.vue, you are now switched back to pages, then you will have this way of using Nuxt layout. So you don't have to put anything. If default.vue is your layout file and you want to use that layout only, then you don't have to do anything else. So we can understand from here that there are some similarities in Nuxt 2 and Nuxt 3. So it's not totally different, but you have to know how to change the things so that they align with each other, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now it's high time that we bring one page from our template, because we have a index.vue file in our pages directory and we would like to keep the things inside it, right?
Yes.
So we will go to our index.html file, which is the template HTML file, and we will go at the bottom of that page and we will grab everything that we have in this page up to doc type. Then we will clean up the problem. So we will replace this div, or maybe we'll put this div inside it. We will paste all the content of our page. Now we have to do some cleanup. As we know that we don't need this doc type, we will not need this HTML tag as well, but we are gonna need the CSS part. So from here, all the links that we have, we will need them. So we will copy them and we will go to our nuxt.config.ts. Now this is actually same as we used to do in Nuxt 2. In many ways they are same. So what we will do is that we will create a head object here, which will have a title, some metadata like this. We don't need this. You can close it. Yeah.
I thought that was you don't need that.
Which one?
The one you deleted removed previously. That HID?
No, I mean, we will come back to that. I mean,
Okay.
the meta tag, we will implement meta tag, but we will do it page by page.
Okay.
So we will bring only the common things which are required for all the pages here.
Okay, sure.
Because you know that meta title and meta description, they will be different in every page. So
Yeah.
we don't want to keep them here. And after link, we will have to have some scripts. For example, like this scripts. Like that. Now we will paste those lines, we comment them out so that they don't give us error. And we have one link like this, which is pre-connect link. So we will turn this link into multi-line so that we can see it properly and we can edit it properly. So we will duplicate it and then the href will be replaced by this one. And this type is not required in this case. Rail icon, this is also irrelevant, but here our rail is pre-connect.
Yeah.
Like this. The next link should be the font link. So this is a style sheet, you can see. So we'll replace that. Then we'll copy the href. Then another, you can see that we have reference to font awesome. So we will bring font awesome. That's the style sheet as well. We have the reference to the lib folder in our project. So we will take that, create another entry. Then we will replace the content with this. This is also style sheet. And the last one is styles.css. So we will duplicate it and then we will display. Now this folder locations, we will have to add a slash so that we understand where exactly those files
Yes.
are. So we will remove those comments from here, need them anymore, then we will save it. So we don't have those files at the moment, but we will bring them very soon. So now the thing we will do is that we can remove all these links. We can remove this head tag. I think we will, no, we will not remove this head tag. We will need this part because these are the metadata of this page,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
So we will get rid of this template, and inside this setup, what we want to do is that const meta we can do is use let us see a little bit. I cannot recall what it is called. So we will see. This is use head, not use meta. So I was doing it wrong. So it will be use head. Use head should accept a object. So this is how we should do it. Okay, so this was actually the wrong way. So we will say use head here, which will accept an object, and that object will actually contain these things. So you can go to contact, or we can actually create a boilerplate from here, and then this title should go to our title property
Title. Yeah.
in this object. And then meta, we will have, for example, this name description. So you can say description like this, and the content can be pre-HTML template. I think that's enough. We don't need anything else. Character set we have already added in the config.js, so we will not need that one hopefully. So we have added the
Meta.
head metadata in our application. Now we will have to fix these things. So we will get rid of the entire head section, and then we will get rid of this body. We don't need it. Then we'll go at the bottom of our application, and as you can see, we don't have any HTML and body here. So we'll get rid of that. So now what we have to do is that we have to take care of the scripts that we have. So we have a few scripts here, as you can see. We will cut all those scripts from here. And then we'll go back to our Nuxt config. We will paste them. And then we will comment them out so that they don't give us any error. So this is the source attribute. I think we would like to do is that we would like to maintain the serial. So this will be our first script source like this. And the second one should be this one. Like this. And then another one.
In Nuxt 2, we did a body thing rather than differ. You don't do it in here.
We do it here as well.
Okay.
So we'll do that. We'll do that. So first, let me copy all the links. Otherwise, I will forget where I were. There are so many links. Our carousel, and then this mail thing. You can see mail thing. Another one. That's good. And then our last one, which is main.js. I think we are good to go. So we will get rid of them. And then we can always add like body. So we will add this to every one of them. I added all of them. So now I have to add a slash in front of all those files. Otherwise, they will not be found in our project. Now we don't have those files here, so we will have to bring them. If we come to our guide property, here are the folder structure of Nuxt. So it's telling that our public things should be in public. So you remember that in Nuxt 2, this folder used to be called static.
Static, yeah.
But here it's public. So we will actually create not here in eShop, but we will create a folder here. Public that. So we will take CSS, image, JS, lib, mail, SCSS. These files, we will copy them and we will come back here in public. Here we will just, so we have the CSS, we have the images, we have the JS, in lab we have the JavaScript files, as you can see.
Yeah.
And in mail we have other JavaScript file, and then CSS. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all. So I think we should be good to. So if we save it, then we go to our local host, and we have a few contents that is not styled properly. You can see, so that's the problem. Let's see.
It has not imported the CSS, has it?
No, it is for the CSS for some reason, and we have to find out why that error is appearing. So here in the let's see that the JavaScript and the links were not imported. Then I think we are doing it wrong. So we will go to Nuxt documentation one more time to find out what we did wrong with that, thing. So this Nuxt config documentation. If we click on this link, here are all the properties that you can use
Yes.
in our Nuxt config. And there are a lot of difference between Nuxt 2 and Nuxt 3 here. So we have head, you can see, style, script, link. So this head should go to app, so should go inside app, as you can see. But in our case, we didn't do that. So we actually put the head directly at the top level. So there should be one app property, which will be an object. There should be our head property. Head can contain script and link. As you can see that inside app, inside head, we have meta, link, style, script, no script, all those things. And script, the same way we have added script, this is the same way, and link also the same way that we have added links. So that looks interesting. So if we go back to our project now, refresh it, we still don't have them. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to rerun this dev server one more time. Make sure that everything is synced up.
Yeah.
No match found for location with port.js main.js. Okay, so we didn't find anything at that location. It's telling us. CSS file are not found as well. But I have put them inside public. So what is the thing that we are doing wrong? If we go to our guide, then public, the public directory is directly served at the server root and contains public files that have to keep their names likely unchanged. Okay. So here we are opening the wrong thing again. It seems like that. Oh, sorry. I actually copied the whole folder inside public, as you can see. So yeah. So what I will do is that I will go to my right, and we just need CSS to a CSS this part. So we'll copy it, and then we will come there and then we will paste it,
and
then we'll get rid of that folder.
Yeah.
That should actually solve our problem. with the JS and CSS. So if we save it one more time, then we don't have any errors so far. We
Yeah.
have this style, beautiful looking thing.
Yeah.
Everything is working perfect. Even the carousel.
Yeah. That's not working. It's not working, is it?
This part
Yeah.
we have to do some.
Oh, there.
Well, this is working. This seems to be working. See, we go to shop. We don't have a shop page at the moment. We have the home page only. So up to this point, it's working. So this is how we add this. So we will have to put this in app. And how I understood this, I had to go to the documentation guide, and then I clicked on
Public.
no, I clicked on nuxt.config.ts. So and to see what properties are available here. And then I found this link. There I clicked, and there I found all the
Okay.
properties that I
Yeah.
can use. And I saw immediately that we have a app property. Inside that app property, we have a head property. So this is how I find out what I have to do. No?
Yeah.
So up to this point, we are in a very good shape. Now, what we have to do is that, or what we would like to do is that we will prepare some components. So we will name this folder components, and this is very important. We have to be very careful about the naming. So here you can see in the guide, that the name is components exactly.
Yeah.
So this we have to maintain, because in Nuxt we don't have to import component. It's
No.
very easy actually in Nuxt. So what we will do, we will separate the header and the footer for this part. So in component, we will create a folder called global. So the global things will be there, and then header.vue. This is one file. We'll create a template here. We don't need a div at the moment. We will see if we need a div or not. So we have this div top bar start here. The top bar ins here, nav bar start here, nav bar ins here. So inside this we have categories. And just everything. I think the carousel is also here. Yeah, the carousel is also here. Okay, we'll take care of that. So let's take up to navbar everything. So the top bar and the navbar, these two things from here to our header component.
Yeah.
Now the fun part is, if you have a component directly in this component folder, not in a subfolder. So please understand this properly, that if you have a component in the components directory itself, so there is no subfolder, then you can call that component like this in your application. But whenever you will have a folder, then you have to append that folder name in front. You understand? Like this.
Yes.
So this is the common convention of Nuxt 3. It will be auto imported for you. You don't have to import it anywhere. If you go to default now, we will replace this div with our component, which is named global header, like this. If we refresh, then we should have the same page as earlier without any problem. And as you can see that it's working so far. Okay, then we will also separate the footer. This this page. So we'll minimize the sections. I see that the footer started here, with including the back to top button.
Yes.
Yeah, so I will actually word wrap this so that I can copy it properly. So I'll cut it from here. And then in global, I'm gonna make another file called
Footer.
footer.vue. And then a template. Inside the template div, then things. Now we can come back to default. And then we can say global footer. If we come back to our website, then we still have our footer.
Yes.
But if we remove this header from here, for example, like this, then the header is gone. As you can see. So the components is actually working. So now, if we want, we can do like this. We can create another folder in components, which will be named home page. And then maybe from the index page, that first part, which is featured end and start, that part we will cut and we will name it like this: home page featured.
Yeah.
So we have to name this component featured with capital F.
Yeah.
And then view. We will bring templates, and then this. Here we can save it. As you can see, our application is still working without any
Yes.
problem. So now we can separate the categories. We can name it home page categories, like this. The home page, create a file, name categories, the template. Then we have offer. So we can cut this, call it like home page offer offers. So we'll insert the offers include template. Then products. Then subscribe. We have another products. We have two products. That's interesting. So this is the first product, and there is another product. So this product is just arrived,
Yeah.
and this product is trendy product.
Trendy.
So we can actually rename this to trendy products.vue. So this index dot needs to be changed to trendy products, right?
Yeah.
And the bottom one was like
Just
just
around.
arrived. We will name it just arrived products.vue. we'll put a template and then this is the subscribe. I have copied part. We have to delete here and then save it. This happen, we will overwrite it. And home page, just write products. Little bit big name, but that's it. So far so good. We have only one left, which is vendor. So we will then like vendor JS, not JS.
Vue.
Yeah, it should be Vue. Yeah. Like this. Then you can say home page vendor. You don't need this spacing, and as you can see, your index page is now so neat and clean.
Yeah.
But you have it fully working still.
Right. If before we go, do one more page, contact page, and then we can finish. Is that all right?
Page. Yeah. So let me see what are there in the contact page. Then we will try to do that as well. We minimize everything and then we open this contact page. This also has a lot of content, but no problem. So in pages, we will create another new file called contact.vue. And then we will take a template and then a div like this in contact.html. So I don't need the footer
No.
because I already have that in mind. I don't need this head. I don't need this top bar. I don't need this nav bar. Right?
Yeah.
I just need this page header start.
Yeah.
This part. So not start, I will copy it from here. And then in the contact.vue, I will paste it when I save it. So far, so good. I don't see any problem here. So the thing I will do is that I will go to slash contact.
Wonderful.
Here we have the contact. Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay. Before we finish, what extension are you using for autocomplete in VS Code?
Autocomplete, I mean, in VS Code, we have something called emit, an extension that is
Emit.
already, that is already installed. I mean, you don't have to install it manually.
Right.
It comes pre-installed with VS Code.
Right.
So that should help you. Otherwise, I use some extensions, for example, that HTML, CSS support. HTML, CSS support, this one. I use it. This helps me a lot. Then we have bracket. Bracket pair colorizer toggler. I don't use it. I don't think I use it. So I think, I mean, I don't remember any specific extension that auto close tag. Yeah, I found it.
Auto close tag.
Yeah, this is the extension.
Right. Because when I'm doing, it doesn't autocomplete. I have to do it manually. But I
Yeah.
see
So
on your thing, yeah.
no, but the thing that you see here, for example, like this,
Is a Git.
uh, that is GitHub Copilot. So
Yeah,
you will have to pay for that in order to activate that.
right.
So that extension is GitHub Copilot. But this is what autocomplete will do. So this is
Yeah,
Emmet, as you can see, Emmet abbreviation,
yeah,
div/div. So clicking this, it gives me two div, and autocomplete will do like this. So if you close one, then the other will be automatically
yeah.
transferred like this.
Image. Okay.
So I think we are good to go for today.
Yes.
And I would suggest you to try to try to convert the other pages and bring it to this project. And if you face any difficulties, then always you can discuss,
Sure.
and you can prepare some topics that you want to discuss in the next lecture in Nuxt 3. Otherwise, I will try to give you in general explanation of other features in Nuxt 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today is what? Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, another session.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay. I need to, I mean, because we've done it, I have understood it, but I need to practice it. I haven't practiced
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you have to practice it. So Nuxt 3, I mean, in general, Nuxt 3 is not difficult. If you know Nuxt 2, then you will not have much difficulties grabbing Nuxt 3.
Sure.
But you have to just take note of some dramatic changes that has been brought into Nuxt 3. For example, that layout things that I
Yes.
have shown you. So that app.vue thing that I have shown you, those are not present in Nuxt 2. They are totally new and newly introduced in Nuxt 3.
Next three.
And later you will see that the way you have been doing API calls in Nuxt 2, that is totally different in Nuxt 3.
But that will come
So
later. That will come.
so the way we declare data, the way we declare computed properties, these things are not same in composition API in general, not in Nuxt 3, but in composition API. So if
Sure.
you use Nuxt 3, then it is advisable that you always use composition API,
Is it
because that's